Away from that, preparations for this year's World Rally Champions are now ready. The event is set for March this year. Our reporter Davis Mberia is in Naivasha, where the event was launched. He now joins us live. Davis, good afternoon. Tell us the latest.
Good afternoon, Grace. Yes, as you said, we are in Naivasha, and this is the preparations for the 2025 WRC Safari Rally. Where I am right now, it is the Wildlife Research and Training Institute that will act also as the service park and also as the nav controlling center where everything will be run. Remember, this is one of the editions that will experience a change into it. And just to dissect into that, I'll be joined by the event director, Mr. Norris Ongalo, just to talk to us some of the new stages they have actually introduced and what we'll be expecting into this year's edition. Welcome on KTN, Mr. Ongalo. Just talk to us. How is today, of course, schedule will be, and of course, what is the different aspect that will be being experienced this year?
Thank you very much. I think it's important to start by saying that we are rally ready. We actually were rally ready by the end of the year. Yes, we've made a couple of changes to this year's edition compared to the previous. Number one, the main changes have been that we have dropped Malewa stage. We also have dropped the shakedown that we used last year. Now we have a brand new shakedown up at Elementaita at a place called Sleeping Warrior Special Economic Zone. We also have a brand new stage around the Special Economic Zone called Camp Moran. And this is the stage, because this is a stage that has everything. It is rough, it is smooth, it has drops, it has hills. And this would be, I think, one of the stages that drivers will talk about. I remember Evans, one of the drivers of WRC, saying that he wants a lot more challenge in the event. And we said we will answer to that plea and bring a very good, challenging stage called Camoran. But over and above that, the other stages are also challenging, and to spice them up, we have reversed 4 stages, one of them being the dual track Kasarani that now runs anti-clockwise. We also have reversed Loldia, which is again, if you remember, in 2022, this is a stage that Noville lost his race when he broke down at the second last stage. So it's a tough stage, but reversing it becomes a brand new stage. 2 other stages have been reversed, that is Sleeping Warrior and Soisambu. But the other changes we brought in, like last year, would start at Kasarani and cars come straight into Service Park. But this year around, we have introduced a stage on Thursday for spectators at Mzabibu. This is an 8-kilometer spectator-centric stage. It is 6 kilometers from Delamere station, and we will provide plans actually to provide some public means for Naivasha spectators to access and watch, and not just only watch drivers in action, but also they have the access to having autographs signed, having a one-on-one meet the crew experience. So those are the changes we've made this year.
Safari Rally has been touted as one of the tough races in the calendar or in the series. What has been the secret behind this?
I think number one, our terrain is challenging. If you look at our roads are not as smooth as people would expect. Number two, it is the unpredictability of our weather. If you remember last year, we had a dry spell. And within the next minute, the second car goes and it's raining. So that unpredictability brings excitement and challenge. And then number 3, we are driving in the wild. You remember again last year, Sodo was racing against a zebra that came from nowhere. So these are things that you can't plan for, but brings excitement, etc. But also, finally, our spectators. They come in doves. Unlike other countries, we see traffic jams that are driven by, spectator love of the sport. But it may not necessarily look like a good thing, but the drivers were looked at it positively, that these are people who have come to support them. So those are the things that make our event very, very, very interesting. But that said, we've made it even tougher this year. The cap for a competitive stage is between 300 and 350 kilometers. This year, we've increased that by 30 kilometers. It will be the longest in the calendar of the new format of the WRC calendar. Ours now will be over 380 kilometers competitive. No other country has done that.
Yeah. Of course, everyone has been asking why Naivasha, and these are some of the places that have those old ranches, and other places include Kwale County and maybe Kilifi. These are some of the places where this rally can also be held. Why not in the upcoming or future editions? Why not hold it in other counties?
It's not easy to move an event from one area to another. First of all, we have to do that 7 months before the event, and that means you must have known this 3-4 months earlier. But that's not an excuse. The thing is that for you to run an event in such an environment, there are certain irreducible minimums that you must have. Look at this facility. You need a facility where you have your nerve center, you have your service park where cars will come and service, but also you have, a facility like the pavilion where you will have our rally control and the rally HQ situated. So we need such facilities, number one. Number two, for a rally to run within this environment, we need enough roads that we can close and manage. So over years, these roads that we used to have then have now been, they're public roads, they are tarmacked, so they're not conducive for rallying. But finally, we need an environment that can have up to about 1,000 3-star plus rooms. So where would you get this? Maybe Nairobi. But Nairobi can have this, but may not have roads. The other option would be Mombasa. Mombasa is one of the options that can be explored, but we can't make this decision as WRC alone. We must get the WRC promoter involved in any changes. Yeah.
And finally, for everyone who will be coming here, what are the rules that they will need to adhere, and maybe are there tickets that they'll need to buy?
This is a taxpayer's event, so we cannot charge the taxpayer any money. But what we do is that we'd want to at least have numbers. We need to have control of who has come and who has not come. So we're exploring possibilities of having ticketing system, but doesn't mean you'll pay for it. Just for us to know who came and who didn't. Because I believe what you treasure, you measure. So we want to measure how many people have attended in specific areas. That's number one. Number two, the spectators will have access to what we call a spectator guide, which we'll publish on the website. Now, the spectator guide has all the instructions and the maps for where they can access and have fun. Of importance in the spectator guide will be information on what they need to do and what can't do. One of which is they must follow the rules and regulations that the marshals will be trying to enforce. And this is all for their safety. We believe that a safe event, a fun event, is a safe event. So our tagline remains to fika salama. So wherever you go, fika salama, enjoy your rally, and let's celebrate our heroes and heroines as their motto through the tough terrains of our routes. Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was actually Mr. Norris Ongaro, who is the event director, just dissecting and looking into the preparation. Remember, up there in the pavilion, Sports CS Salim Vuria is holding a meeting with most of the stakeholders, including leaders from this region. And after there, we shall also be visiting the geothermal and the health gate, which are some of the stages into this year's 2025 WRC Safari Rally. So we shall be here just to keep a keen eye on what will be happening, and we shall not relent to update our viewers in our subsequent bulletins. Back to you, Grace.
All right. Thank you, Davis, there, for just giving us that update. And as Kenya prepares for the motor show in March, you can trust the KTN sports team to bring you a 360-degree coverage of that spectacular event. Well, that's where we take a short commercial break here on KTN News Desk. Still much ahead on the other side.